Peace and love, flowers. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Monica, aka the Mahogany Sunflower. How y'all blooming today? We are back with another video. Back in the car again, you guys. I was gonna do this for you guys out in the park, but it's windy as fuck. So I mean, as heck. So we're gonna do this in the car. Sorry if my glasses start to transition. Let me see if I can do that. There we go. Okay, so I was led to do this message, or this particular goddess for you today. I really wanted to come, first of all, let's pause, let's go back. Welcome to all my new subscribers. You guys, I have a whole 200 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey. For real, like, this is, it's cool. Y'all are cool. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Thank you for doing this. Ride with me. If you're here, they're here for the locks. You're here for the Kemetic Knowledge. You're here and you're with me, rocking and rolling in. Okay, blooming to your highest and fullest potential. Thank you so much. If this is your first time, welcome to the scene. But as I was saying, I wanted to do this video for you guys because I wanted to make sure it takes me a long time to get these out, because I wanted to make sure that I'm giving you guys the correct information. I'm giving you guys good information. I'm putting my all into it, not just putting stuff out just to put it out. I want to make sure that it's factual. So even on that note, I'm going to be updating some posts on the blog. Some posts on the blog, because as I learn, I want to share with you guys and update. So we're going to talk about goddess Hathor, but how I'm going to make this a separate video, but how the gods and goddesses were actually not so much gods and goddesses as they were principles, as they represented essence, the essence of something, the principle of something. Okay, so as we start talking about goddess Hathor, we're going to talk about her as the principle of forgiveness. Okay, and I think that I was led to this particular message today because I can't teach you guys anything. I can't pay anything forward to you guys if I'm not living the lesson or trying to acknowledge the lesson myself. Okay, so yeah. Okay. Sorry, I had to switch it up just a little bit. I wasn't taking the hair. All right, so as always, if y'all see me looking at the notes or looking over, looking down, whatever, looking at my notes, okay? So goddess Hathor, as the principle of forgiveness. Goddess Hathor, her name means house of Heru. The hieroglyph actually is a house with a falcon in it. Okay, she is the goddess of the sky, obviously, falcon. Okay, mother of the falcon god. I'm sorry, house of the falcon god. Her energy center is the heart chakra, or the melanin cluster is the heart center, right? And then we're going to break down why she is. It's all going to come first circle, okay? Why she is the heart center. Her emotional power comes through the ability to give and receive love. So if your heart center, if your heart chakra, if your heart melanin cluster is blocked off, closed off, you will have a hard time giving, receiving love, and most of all, the essence, the principle of forgiveness. Okay? Excuse me. Her crystal is the malachite. Y'all know the heart center is green, is represented by the color green. I wish I brought the crystal with me, but yes, it's a green, beautiful crystal. Okay, so meditate if you want to open up your heart chakra, if you want to do heart chakra work. Yeah, go ahead and invest in that crystal. I am going to get these crystals up on the shop. you guys, I still got a lot to do. I got a lot to do, but stay with me. If you're here, just keep going with me as you always been doing, okay? As I was doing research on her some more, I believe the angel number associated with this very closely would be 222 or 2222. Okay. I say that because that angel number and goddess Hathor, or the principle of Hathor 222, as I say this, she represents love, beauty, harmony, joy, music, dance, nourishment, and maternity. Those numbers and her as a principle go well and well. So just today, as I was coming to do research and record this video for you guys, I actually got 2222 across my odometer dashboard. So that was further confirmation to do this message for you guys. And I also got angel number 4444. So yeah, that was also confirmation to do this message for you, because like I said, I cannot teach you guys this. I can't preach this stuff and not be trying to live it myself. So that's why I said I think that this message was specifically sent to me today to do for you guys, because some things occurred today that I feel like I need to open up my heart center with, unblock my heart center, and really establish forgiveness. Okay, I'm going to break down why forgiveness is essential, why is it important, okay, why is it an important principle, why it was a very important principle to our Kemetic, ancient Kemetic ancestors. Okay, so about goddess Hathor. In anthropomorphic form, she's seen as a woman wearing a vulture cap with a low modulus surmounted by a sun disk between outward curving cow horns. Okay. Her mythology in Kemetic astrology, she had multiple roles. I would say multiple roles. Okay, she was classified in multiple ways. She was honored in multiple ways by the people of ancient Kemet. Okay, in her most iconic form, she was the mother of Heru, or house of Heru. The name Hathor was written as a composite hieroglyph, like I was saying, showing a falcon within the hieroglyph sign, representing a walled building, relating to the goddess's mythological role as mother of the ancient falcon god. Okay, like I was saying as I started. Okay, she was also known as the sky goddess of the sky. She was also seen as the sky in which the great falcon lived, or as the womb, metaphorically referenced as the house from which she was born. In this form, she was both a solar sky goddess and a goddess of the primeval sky waters. The primeval sky waters, or the womb, associated with goddess Noon. Okay. She could also be seen as the personification of the night sky, or the Milky Way. You guys might have seen hieroglyphs or paintings of her stretched out across the sky. Okay, birthing the stars, the Milky Way. Okay. In another form, she was known as the daughter and eye of Ra. Okay, she was closely connected with the sun god Ra, whose discs she wears and whose eye, or daughter, she is said to be. I believe the left side, so that would be this side for me. I don't know if this, whatever. The left side is the feminine principle. Okay. Yes. Okay, so anything associated with your left side, if you get pains, any kind of aches, or like an itch or something, if it's on the left side, it's usually represented with the feminine principle, or the mother aspect of something. Okay. And lastly, in another form, she was known as the goddess of women, female sexuality and motherhood. Hathor was often described as the beautiful one and was associated with love, female sexuality, and motherhood. She was perhaps chief among goddesses who represented the female creative principle, who were called the Hand of Atum. All right, now all this information I was reading directly from my site, my blog, which, like I said, I'm going to update for you guys because I don't want to necessarily establish these as gods or goddesses. I don't want to necessarily classify it so much as gods and goddesses as much as I want to classify them as principles. And because as I do more research and more digging, I feel like the classifications I have most of the gods and goddesses under are not 100% accurate, in the sense where they directly correlate with the Greek zodiac, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so not necessarily if the Kemetic zodiac directly translate as certain Greek zodiacs. Okay, like I said, as I learn and I want to get this information right for you guys, I don't want to just be putting anything out there. So if I need to change, update, then that's what I'm gonna do, because I want you guys to learn with me, make mistakes with me, all that good stuff. All right, so let's talk about next we're going to talk about the actual principle of forgiveness, and then I'm going to give you guys some tips for forgiveness. Okay, I really wish I was by the water, guys, but it's like super windy, like ridiculously windy. So another video in the car. Okay, so let's talk about the principle of forgiveness. Okay, so forgiveness is hard. Forgiving someone is really, really hard. Okay, but it's about being able to forgive and respond to what's happening in the present moment. The present moment can be taken as the principle of 𝕊𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚, okay, or the Sphinx, and I'll talk about that principle in another video. It's about taking what's happening in the present moment and not reacting through the lens of anger or resentment. It's very important to remember that you are not forgiving someone for them, you are forgiving them for you. Okay, so you have to be able to see past a season of pain, a season of hurt. Okay, and you owe it, because you owe it to yourself to not only forgive them, but to forgive yourself as well. And that is probably the most important lesson that you have to kind of learn, is to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for allowing certain toxic behaviors, allowing certain toxic patterns to continue, cycles to continue to manifest in your life. It's hard. It's really, really hard, you guys, because when you get hurt by someone, your walls immediately go up. You immediately get defensive, and you can react with bitterness and stubbornness and the ego's way of like trying to be right all the time. You start to establish a principle of trying to be right all the time. Okay, or trying to classify like you have to be right. Okay, but it's important to take down that ego, to take down that wall. Okay, because as the principle of forgiveness helps us to let go of the offenses that others have done to us and truly help us to move on, so that we can truly ascend. Okay, this is what this lifestyle, this is what this channel is about: transcending, ascension. Okay, in order to ascend as a spiritual being. Okay, and as your spiritual teacher, as your spiritual advisor, like I keep saying, I cannot give you guys this advice and not take it myself. So if I want to truly ascend as a spiritual being, I have to truly forgive people around me, people in my life, and forgive myself for the things that I have allowed, for the things I have not acknowledged, for the roles that I have played. Okay, because also a part of The principle of forgiveness is being able to recognize that hurt people hurt people. Okay, so you could have hurt somebody as well. Okay, your actions definitely could have hurt someone. Your thoughts, your words can hurt someone. And then it becomes like this back and forth. Well, they did this, so I have to do that, and then they say they did that, so I have to do this, and then it's a never-ending cycle of, well, who's gonna let their guard down first? Okay. Like I said, forgiveness may not come right away. It's going to take some time. It's going to actually take a lot of time, so that you can start to tear down the walls around your heart, and let go of the ego. Let go of ego. I'm going to slip a little bit of the principle of 𝕊𝕒𝕚𝕬𝕚, the principle of balance, okay, because 𝕊𝕒𝕚𝕚 represents being able to balance the scales. In order to transcend this lifetime, you need to be able to balance your heart on the scales of 𝕊𝕚𝕚𝕚. And if your heart is not as light as a feather, you get Anubis takes you to the underworld, and you have to do this life all over again. So we don't want to do that, you guys. We want to be able to transcend all of this. We want to be able to go to the next experience, okay? Pass the test, pass Earth School, so that you can transcend into another lifetime. Forgiveness is a lifestyle. It's a conscious choice of awareness. It's a conscious decision that you have to make, and it's a conscious feeling that you have to undertake in order to basically live in your highest good, okay? In order to ascend to your highest good, because without the essence, without the attribute, without the emotional balance, without the emotional power, we're ultimately not honoring goddess Hathor and the element of her principle, and what she represents, and what she to the Kemites, the ancient Kemites, what we needed to do in order to ascend. Okay. So finally, I want to give you guys some tips for forgiveness. I got 4 tips for forgiveness, and then we will wrap this up. Okay, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, you guys. All right, so step number 1 for forgiveness is to focus and balance your emotions. Again, I was talking about the principle of 𝕊𝕚𝕚𝕚, being able to balance the scales. Make sure your heart weighs as light as a feather on the in the hall of justice, on the scales of justice. Okay. So in order to do that, focus your emotions and acknowledge what you are feeling. Focus your emotions and acknowledge exactly what you are feeling. Give yourself permission to recognize and accept the feelings that have been triggered in you, and welcome them. Okay, so acknowledge that you've been hurt. Acknowledge that you are resentful. Acknowledge that you might be a little bitter. Acknowledge that you're angry. Anger. Acknowledge that you're angry, and that you were hurt, that you feel some type of way by the actions that somebody took, by the words that somebody spoke. Okay. Feel them. Feel them. Feel them as much as they need to be allowed to be felt. Okay. The ancestors are telling me to pull some oracle cards after this. Okay, so I'll do that for you guys at the end. All right, step 2, take each mistake as a learning experience. You gotta learn. We're all here to learn. This Earth School. This Earth School, guys. So you're also going to be viewing each mistake as a learning experience is the key to moving forward faster and more consistently in the future. Okay, reminding ourselves that we did the best that we could with the tools and the knowledge that we had at the time will help us forgive ourselves and move forward. All right, so take it as a lesson. Sometimes you gotta take it as an L. Take that shit to the chin and move on. Okay, period. Because sometimes it just takes honestly, authentically, genuinely, heartfeltly wanting to just move on, to just free yourself from any attachments. Okay, when you can truly forgive, you not only move on from the situation, you move on from the person, you move on from the pain. So it's a lot more that goes into it mentally, physically, and spiritually. With your when your body begins to feel certain aches or certain pains, you know, okay, usually it can show up in your shoulders or your neck area, your upper back, your mid back area can get really tense. Okay, and like I said, when you start to feel any symptoms on the left side of your body, usually that is related to the feminine aspect. Okay, so yes. Okay, so acknowledge your mistakes out loud, i.e. this video. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what my mistakes are, but like I said, each one teach one. I got to live it, learn it to live it. Okay, acknowledge your mistakes out loud. When you give a voice to your thoughts, to the thoughts in your head and the emotions in your heart, you may free yourself from some of the burdens. You also imprint in your mind what you learn from your actions and your consequences. Okay? So when you speak things out loud, when you actually hear it out loud, whether it's to yourself or whether it's talking to someone, you recognize, you start to show some compassion, not only for yourself, but for the other person. You start to recognize what it is that you actually what it is that you actually are feeling. All right, and then you learn to take responsibility for your own actions. You learn to really look at the consequences of your actions, how things are affecting you, affecting the other person, and then affecting anybody else attached to the situation. Okay, whether it be at work, in your family, with your lover, with the ex-lover, whatever. Okay, you really have to look at not only how it's affecting you in your day-to-day, but how it could be affecting the other person. When your ego starts to take over and you start to feel like, while some people definitely deserve their karma, okay, and that has nothing to do with you. That's the universe's laws. Okay, that's a universal law. It's a universal principle. What you put out, you get out. Okay, so when you put out forgiveness, ultimately that is all good dharma coming back to you. Okay, but you start to recognize the consequences of of your actions, and again, like I said, how it affects other people. Okay, excuse me, it's getting a little rasp. Okay, so finally fourth and most important step. Okay, this is probably gonna be the most important step I can say, I can give to you guys. Most crucial. If you do this, do nothing. If you do nothing else, do this. Okay, get clear about what you want. Get crystal clear about what you want. Acknowledge that forgiveness is not about letting someone off the hook. It's not about letting someone off the hook, but about freeing yourself so that you can fully get on with your life. Okay, like I said, sometimes you just gotta take the L. Sometimes you just gotta take shit to the chin. Sometimes you just got to forgive, never forget, but move on. Okay, If you really, truly want to be free, if you really want like a feather, a bird, they're free. They float with the wind, they move with the wind, they move with the air, they are free. If you really want to transcend, ascend this lifetime, you have to do whatever it takes to clear your heart space, to forgive and allow yourself to give and receive love. All right, this should give you motivation to move forward in life, move forward with a mission, move forward with forgiveness. All right, acknowledge that you too can hurt people. You have hurt people in the past, and from this train of thought, you can develop empathy. Like I said, for the person who hurt you, you can develop compassion for the person who hurt you. You can forgive and move on. Okay. All right, guys. So, let me pull some tarot for you guys, and then we will to get some further messages from the ancestors, from Goddess Hathor, and then we will end this video. Okay. All right, guys. So we got the Soul's Journey Oracle deck. Let's see what messages, dear ancestors, angels, spirit guides. If you guys don't believe in tarot, you can feel free to click off, or oracle messages, you guys can feel free to click off the video now. And the message, thank you so much for learning about Kemetic Knowledge and Goddess Hathor as a principle, and I will catch you guys in the next video. All right, for those of you who would like an oracle message from the ancestors, if you like oracle tarot, make sure to slide over to my my oracle page, the Sunflower Oracle. Right, and I do zodiac messages. I am switching up the content a little bit over there, zodiac messages and such. And then I might also open up my other page to do dream oracle messages. Okay, ancestors, angels, spirit guides, what are the messages can I give the collective? Can I give my viewers, my watchers, subscribers from Goddess Hathor? Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. All right, so there's someone in your life that you might have failed or might have failed you. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. All right, you're gonna have to learn that a failure that you made or that a friend has made against you is an opportunity to learn. I feel like they're trying to say that there's a certain person in your life, whether they are still a friend or not, they were a lesson for you. There's a certain friend that was a lesson for you. There was a relationship that was a certain lesson for you. I'm attracted to those people who serve my highest good. People are lessons. Okay. If you know anything about karma, the laws of karma, okay, karma shows up in people, places, things, lessons. They're all lessons. They all show up as lessons. They're supposed to teach you something, and usually if you don't learn the lesson, even if you get rid of one person, place, or thing, it'll usually show up in another person, place, or thing until you learn the lesson. Okay. It's going to take courage. It takes a lot of courage and discipline. Wow. With forgiveness. Right. I acknowledge I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Right. So it takes a lot of discipline and courage for forgiveness. To forgive. But harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. It blocks your heart center. It blocks you off from heart center, but your health. It blocks you off from honoring the physical vessel that enriches your soul. Without a healthy heart, you don't necessarily have a healthy body. You can start to develop heart attacks, like from a broken heart, are a real thing. Okay, body pain are a real thing. The heart is associated with a lot, pretty much, I won't say pretty much a lot of the body's functions, because I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with the way the blood flows through your body. Okay, so when your heart is blocked off, that can definitely affect you spiritually and physically as well, and in the long run, mentally. Okay, any more messages, please, ancestors, angels, spirit guides? Y'all, I wish it wasn't so windy. Ugh, I ain't trying to go back in the house. Break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewrite the future. All right. With that, I'm feeling like forgiveness is an ancestral pattern. It requires a lot of healing. If you haven't necessarily seen the people around you demonstrate the act of forgiveness too well, if you don't necessarily know what it looks like to forgive and move on, if you are surrounded by people who hold a lot of resentment or encourage you to remain resentful, it's going to be hard for you to move on. If you have a lot of people in your ear encouraging you to do a certain thing, live a certain way, it can be hard for you to demonstrate forgiveness. Okay. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. All right, so you're not alone in this. If you need help asking for forgiveness or practicing forgiveness, then call on the ancestors. Call on Goddess Hathor. I told you guys, I already showed you guys how to call on your goddess, your god or goddess at your altar. So with Goddess Sehkmet, do the exact same, but with Goddess Hathor, if you want to ignite more of the heart center, if you want to ignite more of the ability to forgive, give and receive love, to balance, call on love, beauty, harmony, compassion, empathy, and forgive, call on Goddess Sehkmet using the crystal, the malachite. All right, balance your melanin center, your melanin cluster. Call on the ancestors, call on Goddess Mayat, call on Anubis, those who work in the hall, those who work with Mayat in order to balance the scales, okay? Even 𝕊𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚, the Sphinx, who's also ironically a mother goddess, okay? Call on the mother goddesses. Call on all the mother goddesses. Auset, Hathor, 𝕊𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. Sorry, it's a habit to just shuffle, you guys. But yeah, so that is all the messages I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe if you like the vibe, and make sure to share this video with your friends, with your family. Bring them on over to the Mahogany Sunflower channel. Help me continue to grow and blossom and bloom this channel, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love, y'all. Ashe.